I'm Taylor Ingham, the owner of East Fork Outfitters.
Hi, I'm Hillary Ingham. I'm Taylor's wife. Together we own and operate East Fork Outfitters. We guide bighorn sheep, elk, and moose hunts in the Bighorn and Absaroka mountain ranges of Wyoming.
Right now we're in the Absaroka Mountains, the Washakie Wilderness in western Wyoming.
We spend weeks and months every year out here, starting as soon as we can get up here when the snow's off.
Having my wife as my business partner, it's great that we're able to work together every day, whether we're at home planning and packing and getting ready for trips, or if we're in the field guiding together. It's a joy to be able to work with my wife every day and to have her be able to raise our kids in this place.
I guess I hope they take away the simplicity of life. It's important. Family, friends, of course an appreciation for the land, where their food comes from, how difficult it is to get food.
I think for me, I feel like I'm giving my kids an experience and a childhood that a lot of kids and a lot of people never get to experience. Even if they choose to move to a city someday, at least they'll been able to experience some wild places. The raw, untouched beauty of this landscape and this wilderness you don't find in other parts of this country and other parts of the world. This wilderness is unique to Wyoming. Our game and fish department is fully funded by hunter dollars, and that's through fishing licenses, hunting licenses, and the governor of Wyoming, through statute, is allowed to award 5 bighorn sheep, 5 moose licenses to nonprofit conservation organizations that promote wildlife.
My name is Harry Malott. I've been hunting this area for well over 15 years.
All sheep hunts are special. This hunt in particular is going to be for a good friend of mine and a client of ours that's done a number of hunts with us, and he was able to purchase a Wyoming governor's sheep license this year and asked me to take him.
It's a friendship that developed on trust of one another. I mean, we've been in some pretty precarious situations and blizzards and sliding down hills, really in pursuit. There's times he's thrown his pack down because I knew I needed a tall rest, and I was able to say yes or no, you know, that kind of thing. It's not that every time, but you're ready for the right time. And he really appreciates that. He doesn't care if I ever shoot an animal. We're going to be out there every single day. First one's out, last one's back, because that's just the way we are. We want to be outside.
We are so blessed to have such a great team of guides and cooks and wranglers. They are like the heart and soul of our operation.
I'm Bruce Copperroot, and I am a bighorn sheep and elk guide for East Fork Outfitters. This is my 16th year in this drainage guiding.
Bruce has been a great mentor to me since I first started working as a wrangler in this camp. I mean, he's always friendly and willing to share advice and ideas, and even now, he's one of my employees, but I count him as a mentor.
It's always been a passion. My dad loved to hunt. He taught me as I grew up. We went hunting all the time. We were either horseback or on foot. It became a family tradition. As I got my first ram, my dad guided me in 1984. It just got in my blood. I've loved it ever since.
They're the matriarchs of this country. They're sought after. People would love to hunt them. Knowing the terrain that they're in makes it so difficult. I mean, where they are and where they live and how they live is amazing to me.
Hunting bighorn sheep is unlike any other hunt that you'll ever do. It is by far the hardest hunt physically, mentally. It'll challenge your body, it'll challenge your equipment. The terrain where these sheep live is the steepest, rockiest, highest elevation terrain in Wyoming. We use the horses as much as we can, but we still do a lot of hiking, a lot of climbing and scrambling.
It's rough wilderness.
Today we've been out looking for some sheep, making sure that our trails are in good shape and getting a feel for what our sheep hunt next month is going to feel like and look like, and preparing ourselves mentally and physically to try to take a sheep in a month.
It's not just a hunt for us, it's our livelihood and it's our lifestyle.
It's rewarding knowing that you can provide meat for your family. It's extremely healthy meat, free-ranging, organic. Just, it doesn't get any better than that. All of that together, I guess, makes for a passion.
It's my way of getting away. When I'm here, I don't exist to anybody. Nobody can reach me, nobody can get anything out of me. I'm here and I'm devoting this time and my passion to doing the best job that I can for my guides, getting in shape to get here, you know, and that's really what hunting is all about, because you're not going to come here and hike these mountains and be successful if you haven't put the time in.
The shared experience is the reason I became an outfitter.
I can't wait for the call of fall every single year when I get together with our friends and we meet someplace, and it may be only once a year, but we are best friends on that week we're together.
It's been on my mind every day, and I think that the same commitment that I see from Harry to do a hunt like this, I put forward in myself, and he puts his trust in me to take him on a great experience, and so I greatly value that, and I think that we have the same interests in the way that we plan and prepare.
Success is defined in so many different ways. It's a lot of hard work, especially sheep hunting. Some people define it just by the taking of the animal, and I get that. But it's also the experience and being in God's country and what you see.
The whole day that you're out there and with the guides and the other people that you meet along the way, that's really what it's all about. It's because you share the same passion that I do.
I'm definitely proud to call Harry and Bruce both my friends, because they're world-class individuals, and count them as friends is a privilege.
Wyoming is special.
We enjoy the mountains, we enjoy the state of Wyoming, we enjoy being here. That's what this is all about, and that's what hunting is all about.
There's definitely a sense of peace that comes with being in the wilderness that everyone is familiar with.
In the wilderness, I feel really small. This is such a huge, untamable wilderness that I just feel like I'm just visiting when I come here. This is their mountain range, this is their wilderness, and I'm just so lucky to interact with them here.
I will always hunt ethically, and I will always try to take a finishing shot on the first shot, period. Knowing the anatomy of the animal, I could probably get away with a few more shots than most people, being a butcher.
The way I describe a sheep hunt is it's about 90% mountaineering and about 10% hunting. But then we also have to play into account the wind, what it's doing now, what it's going to be doing an hour from now, and then what the wind might be doing on the other side of the drainage. I feel an excitement when I see these animals, because I know that I'm getting to see these animals in a place, in a time that very few other people will ever get to see. It's not duplicated, it's not replicated. It's only here, and they're so special. Almost 2 years ago, we had a couple of sheep hunters that we were guiding. Bruce had one hunter and I had another hunter, and Bruce just didn't have a good hunt, just thought that he'd gotten into some bad water and had a stomach flu, and when he got home, he ended up in the emergency room.
It took about 5 hours, and they came back and told me I had pancreatic cancer. And of course, that was a shocker. I had just buried my mom with that 1.5 years prior with pancreatic cancer, so that was a double whammy, I guess, for me.
It was a huge shock for us.
I was very angry. At that time, I just didn't care. Let the cancer do what it has to do. I just didn't care, didn't understand. Then the Holy Spirit got a hold of me, said, no, you're gonna fight this. We have other things to do. And so I did. I went into it headlong. I did 30 weeks of chemo and chemo radiation. I still kind of choke up a little bit about this story. The tumor was not resectable. They couldn't do surgeries. My tumor markers are undetectable. My tumor is now They can't see it in the scans, and it's truly a miracle that God has graced me with.
It's a huge joy to have Bruce back. Last year he was able to guide one hunt for us, and this year having him pretty much full-time this fall, it's overwhelming how far he's come. Bruce is he's always valued his time in the fall at camp, and I think it's become more valuable to him now.
I'm very grateful for this. I notice things more as we're hunting, and I say thank you right then. Like the little flowers we saw today up on top of the ridge, those little teensy little flashes of color. It's all God's glory. I just want to encourage anybody that has had a diagnosis or had just recently had a diagnosis of a grave disease such as cancer. There's hope. It can happen. You can be well. I started setting goals for myself, and one of them was to guide one more hunt in this area. And I did, and I felt I could have kept going. And then they asked me back this year, and we have some sheep hunters and elk hunters, and so truly I'm back in the saddle, I guess, with it.
Today was a dry run. Didn't see a lot of sheep. We saw them in the distance. Probably the big rams aren't here quite yet. The snow melt is a little bit late. I understand that.
It's possible they're not successful, but I believe that got the right guides, the right preparation, and our hunter is well prepared, so I think we're doing all the right things to be successful. I'm ready to go. It's been a ton of preparation, a ton of work, and now's the fun part. You know, get advantage, and we want to be able to pick them out and see them from 1,000 or 2,000 yards. You know, make a strategy on what the best approach could be.
Those are the 5 rams we're looking for. There's 2 of them are really monsters.
I think let's just hang here for a little bit,
Yeah.
watch them.
Yeah, once you got your eyes off them, you're done. Right.
It'd be pretty tough to pick up again. They were really hard to access, even if you were trying to hunt them with a rifle, but towards the end of the day, it seemed like they wanted to just go get a drink of water from the creek, and once they dropped some elevation, they were out of sight from us in a group of trees, and so that gave us the opportunity to move in closer, knowing that when they were in the trees, they couldn't see us as we approached. We climbed through a couple of canyons and scrambled through some trees and trying to do it as quietly as we can, and all the time we're checking the wind and making sure that it doesn't shift as we move into a different draw or a different canyon, and the wind stayed in our favor, and we were able to get pretty close to where we saw the rams go into this patch of trees. A single ram presented himself into an open grassy meadow, and immediately he saw us. Eventually, knowing that we weren't a threat because we stayed so still, he laid down. When that ram laid down, we didn't know if he was going to sit down for 10 seconds or a day or an hour, so we were really pinned in. Harry was beside me when we were glassing, and then he moved about 20 yards away from me. I could hear rams down in the trees. 1 and then 2 rams stepped out from behind the trees, and Harry was off to my side, and so I was doing my best to give him hand signals to point to where the rams were coming out.
The actions in his facials and pointing, they're over there, I knew exactly what he meant. Number 1, you qualify them. Number 2, do I have a clean shot that I can make? And all that happens in 5 to 10 seconds. We knew it was going to be quick because they're coming out of timber. It's not like we're stalking them and they don't know we're there. We're going to get close.
When we glassed these rams from a long distance away, we knew that there was 5 rams in this group. And then after Harry shot, they all went down into this canyon, but then only 4 rams came out on the other side. As we watched the 4 rams climb up a really steep face, we could see that one of the rams looked like he was fatigued. He was panting really hard. He had his tongue out. He's got his tongue out. He's got his tongue out. He's hit. Yep, second one. And so we weren't sure if that was the one that he shot, and then another one had split off. It took a few minutes to gather ourselves, and then we got organized and started following the drops of blood.
If he's hit, he would go down, right?
Yeah, I would have thought so. He'd go the same way as the others.
I was sick. Personally, inside, I was sick. I knew that the arrow drifted on me. I didn't calculate the wind from that ridge. I knew I was going to get 3 to 5 inches of drift, and to get 11 inches of drift was way more than I anticipated.
When we didn't immediately see the animal, I had a wave of thoughts going through my mind of, did he go a different direction? Did we not see him? Was it the shot not good? Did I not give the right advice on the setup? You've got a ton of different thoughts going through your head.
He bled all the way down, and he was mortally wounded. He was not going to live, and it was obvious by his actions, by not being able to go uphill. Right here's blood. So it did go all the way through.
Doesn't smell like guts.
Well, I was confident when we found blood, and as soon as he started to run, he was pumping blood out pretty good. So I was pretty confident we'd find him in a short order. This was a total different hunting scenario than I dreamed I would ever have, quite honestly.
This hunt has been in the works for almost a year now. When we did find the ram, the happy emotions really let loose, because to have the opportunity to guide Harry on a hunt like this is so special to me, because I got to share the experience of a lifetime for him. And I'm so grateful that he put his trust in me to take him on a hunt like this. I can't even believe it.
Wow.
I don't even have the words.
Thank you so much, man.
Thank you.
This is what it's all about. It really is.
This is incredible.
Yeah, once.
That is a slick one.
Yeah, of course he's going to get hitched to get out of here.
Well, they don't live in places that are easy to access, and they seldom die in places that are easy to access, but we were able to get down to the animal. That is one heck of a ram. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That is beautiful.
I've hunted this camp probably 20 times. I've only harvested 2 elk. I've passed. I'm not going to shoot something that doesn't meet my qualifications or that I can't get a good shot at. When it happens, it's going to be fast. It's going to be over. You can't wait for us to set up. You got to be ready, and we were, and everybody did their job. This is really the most important thing that you get out of this, is the preparation really paid off.
Butchered all the meat, got it packed up on our backpacks, and by then it was pretty much pitch black. There was very little moon to light up the woods, and so we had a long hike out. I probably had well over 100 pounds on my pack, and the other guys all pitched in and were able to pack the whole ram out in one trip. But the mountain climbing's difficult in the daytime, and it's really hard at night. I think it's the raw beauty of a place like this. It's everywhere you look is a photograph or a painting, and when you're here, you're living a painting that people in the city may only see on a wall, and so you see it, you feel it in the air, you feel it under your feet, and it's powerful.
Number one, we harvest all of the meat that's edible. Today, as we were coming out here, I was more concerned about the meat than I was anything else at this point. You know, we have a nice trophy, but okay, we got to get the shell, I got to get temperatures down, and then, you know, when I get home, I will clean it all up, I will clean everything, I will cut all the roasts and do everything that I need to do based on what recipes I would use that for. I will not hunt anything that I wouldn't eat. My freezer has only wild game in it, that's the truth. And I own a meat company. I know a boatload of people. I have very few friends who think and do like my passion and what I like to do. And Taylor I call a friend. And that means we have a bond more than just knowing one another and I'm his client. We have a friendship beyond that where we call one another and we talk to one another.
I'm proud. You know, I can see how happy my wife is and how happy my kids are for me and for Harry and the success that we had. I'm proud of what we've done, and I'm proud of the hunt, and I'm proud of the business that we have, and feel like my kids can look up to me as a successful person and a good dad.